Okay, so one of the most important skills that I think all students need to have is the ability to tell the difference and to do summary and analysis. Because way too often I have students, when they're asked for summary, analysis creeps in, or when they're asked for analysis, just rely on summary. So I think it's crucial that you tell the difference. You may even call this Battle of the Ages, the verses. I had to go with that. And it is an epic video. Okay, so let me start with the definition, then we'll go to an example of a award-winning YouTube video, a short. Summary is fact-based. It is observations that you see in real life and screen, whatever you're dealing with, that are confirmable. You can go back to them, are generally accepted. Something along these lines. You get the idea. Analysis, on the other hand, is meaning-based. So it takes those facts, these things that you see that are, okay, the building blocks, and then it adds an answer to the question, what does this mean? So just think in your head, and this will be on a quiz at some point. Summary, fact-based. Analysis has to do with what those facts mean, okay? I was going to say, oh, summary is easy and analysis is hard, because summary, you're just looking at things and you're just describing what you're seeing. And analysis, oh, you're having to think. I'm not really comfortable with that, because sometimes to get really in depth and to be really thorough with your observations and getting those details in there, sometimes that can be really hard, honestly. And then sometimes with the analysis, it can just, it's so, I think you'll see this in the video that we're going to watch in a second. Sometimes you're like, oh, I just want to give this because it's so well done, and it just comes out. Like the meaning is so clear, it's like dying to be demonstrated. You know what I mean? So sometimes it can be pretty easy. And that means sometimes analysis is hard to avoid when you're supposed to be summarizing. Both of them, though, are often necessary to be successful in academic essays, and they both work well together. When you summarize, a lot of times people will be like, well, what is that? So what? Who cares? What's the meaning behind that? Or when you have just meaning, it's like, what are you basing this on? Where is this coming from? Okay, so let's jump to the video I was referring to. So this is called The Lady and the Reaper. We're only going to watch the introduction. I'm just going to dive in, and we'll take it as it goes. Love this video. Hold on. So try to be paying attention to the facts. What is it that you're seeing? What is it that you're hearing? Don't worry about the meaning until we get to analysis. Also, warning, there's, I probably should have started with a disclaimer of sadness going on here. Trigger warning. Sorry, guys. Oh gosh. Okay. I'll kind of jump back and forth between here. So if we're going with the summary, we're looking at this video. We're looking, okay, that very first scene. Oh, come on. Pull this up. So right at the beginning, we've got the credits. We can be looking at, okay, the imagery here, be listening to the music. So we would be going with, okay, just the facts would be, okay, what song is this? We could get the artist, the date, the performer, when it was, who was published by, whatever, the picture. That same thing, like who drew this picture? What does it look like? With the form, okay, we've got the beautiful woman with the angel of death. And same with the music, like we could go with like, what is the form of the music? What is the embedded meaning? Like the words, what do they mean? We could note, that there's wind, there's this single house, she's looking out, there's not other people, there's leaning power poles. We're just getting to the facts here, though. We don't kind of think, okay, there's a difference between what do these things mean? We could note, okay, the drab colors. Oh, but drab is kind of a meaning. There's kind of a meaning embedded with that. Brownish colors. Do you see the difference there? Drab is meaning oriented of like, oh, it's depressing, it's sad. But no, we're just noting the browns. We're noticing the, do you see the difference there? Same with the sounds. We could just note them. We could note just the facts about it. Even like, oh, she dies and death comes and gets her. It's like, is that, if we were going to be really strict with just the fact-based, the summary, we would say, okay, a blue floating version of her separates from her, and some dude in a, skeleton with the robe comes and gets her. Okay, this is why I said analysis can sometimes be really easy, because it's like, it's hard. Can you feel like I want to give analysis in here? So the music is upbeat, nostalgic, optimistic, and fun. The picture kind of contrasts with that, how it's like, it's kind of scary and creepy, but the music is like upbeat and fun. And it's like, there's this weird contrast where it's like, ooh, there's something that's really sad and ominous and difficult, but also something that's positive and potentially misunderstood, of like, oh, this beautiful woman and is with this death figure. You know what I mean? It's kind of signaling something that's coming up ahead. We could look into, what is the meaning behind this? The wind is kind of creepy, ominous. Ooh, something is coming. Something bad's going to happen. The single house could be, okay, there's independence there. They're on their own, which is, independence, but it's also isolated and kind of lonely, kind of setting the stage like for her internal state. The leaning power poles are like aged, things have been better. On its last legs, those power poles could like drop over at any second. The color palette, did you notice when she is looking at the picture, notice how everything before then was just kind of this brownish, watered down, but then you've got this blue here, and then the brightest colors here are right kind of emanating from this picture, just like, oh, she loves her husband. Like, how do we know that? It's pretty clear. Also, the next scene, notice this, like the summary, I think this is the key. Like, this is to remember. The summary says there's a woman laying in her bed and a framed picture that has a big empty space. That's what the summary says. The analysis says her husband has died and she is really sad and she feels his absence. Can you see where I'm coming from with that? Summary, analysis. Okay, same with this, like, we would understand this as she has died. We would understand this as the doctor, she's willingly going with death because she loves her husband, she wants to be with her husband. The doctor, and I just noticed the Fame magazine rather than Time. He's so full of himself, he's cheated death. The rest of the video is about death and him fighting. and it's kind of slapstick. This is why we're not watching it, all of it. But you get the idea. We could get into all the sounds, what all of these mean. I hope you get the idea of what we're doing. Okay, takeaways. Summary has to do with just the bare bone, minimal facts. It's important, it is challenging, but it's often not enough in academic writing. A lot of the writing we're going to be doing this semester, summary is good, but keep your eye on analysis. Analysis is where the money is. Analysis has to do with what those facts construct in meaning. It also is important, it also is challenging, and it often is the main purpose of academic writing, this class and moving on through your academic career. Okay, hopefully that's clear. Thanks, guys.